Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. A little bit of a different kind of video today, and I'm not really exactly sure even how to go about this in terms of like title, thumbnail. I don't know. It's just something that I do want to talk about, and that is just Carlos, former G2 Carlos, and kind of all the weird shit that has been going on with him and things he's doing and saying and spreading on social media, blah, 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 blah. Obviously, this has been a very, very documented and very publicized, whatever, topic over the past couple of months as kind of his downfall from being removed from G2, being removed and ostracized from the esports world and all that stuff. But also at the same time, I really don't want to talk about this at all, and this probably will be one of the last times I do talk about this going forward, because I don't want to bring too much attention to it. Like, I don't know, again, it is a big topic, it is something I have opinions about, it is something I want to talk about, but like I said, at the same time, I think it's dumb to give these people the attention that they are going after. You know, at some point I think they are being extreme for a reaction, and extreme and crazy and stupid and idiotic or whatever, to get people riled up and get people talking about them, because I do think that people like attention, and you know, there is a lot that comes with that as well, and I totally understand that. You know, like I love attention. I've done shit to rile people up and get attention and stuff before, so I get it, and I want to talk about it, but I don't want to keep feeding into a lot of the things they're trying to do, just keep giving them attention as well. Especially when I think overall I don't really agree with a lot of the messages that they're spreading. So anyway, getting into the Carlos shit, kind of just recapping what's been going on, giving some of my thoughts and opinions. Goldborg, he tweeted out the other day, I thought this was really funny, I retweeted it, Carlos about to become the Kanye of esport and not the graduation kind. And yeah, this tweet popped off. You know, this is a guy with not a ton of followers on Twitter, 7,000 followers, got 4,500 likes. It's just a hilarious tweet, and you can see a lot of the parallels in, you know, the weird shit that Kanye has been going on. Obviously, Carlos isn't quite to that point yet, but with a lot of like that group of people, they start going on these, you know, I don't know, hyper psychotic rants and their viewpoints of the world and all this stuff going on, and it leads them down a very, very dark, weird, and strange path until, you know, ultimately a lot of times they spiral out of control, which I hope doesn't happen, and I hope Carlos kind of sees the light, but it doesn't really seem like that is something that interests him at this point. So it is kind of weird. I thought this was a good tweet. You know, we'll see how it goes for sure, but definitely funny. And then a recent thing that Carlos had put out, this is on, I don't know if it's his Discord or whatever. I saw somebody else tweet this out. I just took this screenshot that they did, tweeted it, spread it, whatever. I get people being like, oh, that's out of context. And, you know, oh, Tim's going to come fucking dunk on me for using stuff out of context, whatever. I get it. But also, I'm not going to go through his fucking Discord. I don't care enough to do that. And I also don't care about the context enough to do it. I think the statements alone speak some volume. You know, if you want to go find the further context and knock yourself out, Carlos is going to explain that in some tweets we're going to look at in a second, whatever. He puts this out in his Discord. I'm sure this is in, you know, some channel that's, you know, not supposed to be related to video games or whatever. So I get him saying this to some extent, but he says, stop talking about video games in this channel. Video games are useless if your goal is to live a fulfilling life. Obviously, very ironic, very hilarious, very insane coming from him. Now, does he have some points here? Yeah, for sure. Should you be addicted to video games? Should video games take over your life? Should video games get in the way of you getting other stuff done or accomplishing other things or being happy, whatever? Absolutely not. And can video games, you know, be something that, you know, spirals out of control for a lot of people, takes over their life, leads to, you know, addiction, depression, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, a lot of that stuff is absolutely true. But one, hilarious, coming from Carlos, who has built up his money, fame, legacy, everything in the video game world. So, you know, once upon a time, he was playing video games for fun, and it ended up turning into a lot of stuff for him. You know, it's not like he was a 12-year-old kid being like, oh, I'm going to create a gaming organization. Like, no, you started playing games for fun, and it led to a lot of stuff, which can absolutely happen. And he has made money and fame and all this stuff, infamy, whatever, off of people enjoying video games. And if no one enjoyed video games, then Carlos would never be where he was. Like, again, I get what he is saying to some extent, that, yeah, video games can have negative impacts in your life, blah, 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 blah. But also at the same time, if there were no fans of video games, if there were no people that enjoyed video games, he would not be where he is today. I don't know. This is just obviously a really, really crazy. I don't need to over-explain to you guys why this is so insane and such a weird thing, and how he's clearly going down such a weird path. But I tweeted this out and said, yeah, dude became rich, famous, successful because he is a top G alpha male, not because of video games. This tweet's been kind of popping off. I thought it was pretty funny. You know, this person, they kind of chimed in, video games were his passion. He loved it and was passionate with it. That's what he's saying, that now he just shows how many bridges he's willing to burn and how he's willing to shit on something he loves just to be Tate and Musk's little dog. And I think that's a hilarious tweet as well. And I kind of followed this up and tweeted here, and I said, my favorite part about all this weird Carlos shit might be the fact that he's been calling himself Top C recently, which is just like absolutely hilarious because he's, you know, spouting off like, oh, be an alpha male, be your own man, like, you know, carve your own path, blah, 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 blah. And he wants to be called Top C. He's like, you know, Andrew Tate's little henchman or something. Like, it's just so funny. And, you know, he's like idolizing, worshiping this guy to a level that, you know, they would speak down upon or say is weird or bad or whatever, unless it's in their own group. You know, hey, if Andrew Tate is your god, yeah, look up to people and have a person that you know, blah, 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 blah. But, you know, other things, oh, the video games, oh, that's embarrassing. Like, come do my freaking men's self-help course or whatever. That's a great use of your time. That's going to lead to this, you know, ultra fulfilling life or whatever. Let alone, you know, the things that have been going on in Carlos's life recently where, you know, I've made fun of this before, but like these are some of the most freaking depressing pictures I've ever seen in the world. Like, does this look like a guy who's like living a fulfilling life? Like, yeah, he's trying to get you to think that he is, and he's posting on social media how awesome and how fulfilling his life is and how happy he is and how much better his life is than yours and blah, blah, blah. But oftentimes the people that are doing all that shit are the people who are not very happy and aren't living very fulfilling lives and have a lot of negative things going on. Like he, you know, lost his multi-$100 million business very recently. Like he, you know, he has his own relationship issues and stuff going on right now. He's been going through a divorce. He has all these different things going on. And he just wants to spout to us about how perfect and how amazing and how awesome his life is because he doesn't play video games or whatever, has seen the light, or, you know, he's Top C and he gets to party with Top G and blah, 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 blah. But also, some of his weird tweets recently, it turns out that I indeed party with whoever the fuck I want. Cool. I mean, literally no one asked and no one cares. Like, I don't know. It's just very, very strange. Like, congrats. He decided to retweet his, you know, original tweet of nobody will ever be able to police my friendships. I draw my line here, party with whoever the fuck I want. Again, great for you. Awesome. You know, he had tweeted some things about the World Cup, like, I'm glad Qatar and a Muslim region got one of the absolute most entertaining World Cup ever played. He said, I hope the Middle East gets every World Cup moving forward, which is, you know, just a funny tweet. He also said this recently, nothing changed in my view on life. Now I broke the corporate shackles that kept me tame. Great. Either I die or I succeed, a community is born. And again, he's trying to push this Discord community, all that stuff. This guy says, I see you're not taking the divorce well. And this is his response. And I don't know. I think that tells you enough of a story there. So much just weird shit going on. I know also Express, him and Express LOL had a little interaction or engagement or whatever that I did want to share with you guys. Express tweeted out life goals in the picture that I had tweeted out as well. Stop talking about video games on this channel, blah, blah, blah. And he said, you know, can't believe people change like this in a few months. And Carlos said, I'm grateful for video games, but don't expect me to promote that playing 8 hours a day for fun is healthy. And again, does this message say playing for 8 hours a day is not healthy? No, it says stop talking about video games on this channel. Video games are useless if your goal is to live a fulfilling life. That's what that says. Nothing about 8 hours, nothing about, and again, maybe the more context explains a little bit further, whatever. I don't know. Don't really care. But that is not what that message says. It doesn't surprise me that you avoid showing the question I was responding to. Again, Carlos, nobody's going to go into your fucking Discord and find out the context or figure out the whole thread. Nobody gives a shit. Like, that's not what's going on here. You and all the other attention-seeking Twitter gargoyles are going to remain miserable in perpetuity. Again, he's just going to tell you how you're miserable, he's happy, his life's fulfilling, his life's perfect, great, you're just a gremlin, gargoyle, whatever. Okay, great, cool, whatever. Keyword for fun. If it's your job or you intend it to be your job, this can be a fantastic career path forward. But if you use video games to scrape your problems, they won't do anything else and pull you further down. By all means, play games for fun once your life is in order. Which again, isn't you know, that horrible of a message at the end of the day, but also I don't believe truly what everything he has been saying. And then, sorry, I don't have enough testosterone to sift through all this crap on your Discord, which is funny. He says, my Discord is open for when you're ready. Have a good life. So I don't know, just a lot of crazy shit going on. The kind of the descent of Carlos does continue. You know, I don't know. A lot of weird, crazy shit going on. Like I said, I do ultimately think at the end of the day, a lot of it is for attention, and a lot of it is probably because, you know, he is unhappy or does feel unfulfilled, or, you know, has become rich, famous, and successful and still has not probably found everything he's been looking for, hoping for, or whatever. And obviously he has been going through some turmoils, in his own life, whether he wants to admit that or just tweet out laughing emojis about that or whatever. And at the end of the day, I do hope he is okay. Obviously there have always been people who have had criticisms about him and said that, he's insane, he's an asshole, whatever, he's a ruthless businessman. Well, maybe he was just always kind of a piece of shit. Don't really know. Maybe something has changed. He's saying, hey, nothing's changed. These have always been my viewpoints. I don't know. That's weirder. That's crazier. The self-awareness is at zero. But ultimately, I do hope, he's okay. I hope he doesn't, continue to spiral out of control. But also at the end of the day, I hope, people don't kind of fall into, the whole Tate, Top C, whatever community and a lot of the toxic shit that they spew. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, I think that'll not only make the esports community a worse place overall, but just probably even the world in general, which is not great. So I do hope he's okay. I hope his life gets better. I hope he finds what he's looking for. But no, I don't believe he's happy. I don't believe he's fulfilled. I don't believe his life is as great as he's, posting about on social media. But yeah, I don't know. Probably not going to give him too much more attention, but did have a lot of thoughts and opinions, stuff that I want to talk about today. And this is something that just keeps popping up. Obviously, he's hyper popular, hyper relevant, hyper, big in the scene. But pretty much it for this video today, guys. Hopefully I catch you in the next one. Peace.